Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Gen Politics. Is Donald Trump in danger? Tucker Carlson seems to think so. This is the response he gave in a recent interview when posed the question, what do you think the future holds for Donald Trump?
What do you think the future holds? Is it,
I don't know.
I mean, are they going to let Trump be president?
No, of course. I mean, look, if, they protested him, they called him names. He won anyway. They impeached him twice on ridiculous pretenses. They fabricated a lot about what happened on January 6th in order to impeach him again. It didn't work. He came back. Then they indicted him. It didn't work. He became more popular. Then they indicted him 3 more times. And every single time his popularity rose. So if you begin with criticism, then you go to protest, then you go to impeachment, now you go to indictment, and none of them work. What's next? I mean, graph it out, man. We're speeding toward assassination, obviously, and no one will say that, but I don't know how you can reach that conclusion. You know what I mean? Like, they have decided, permanent Washington, both parties have decided that there's something about Trump that's so threatening to them, they just can't have it.
So is Tucker right here? Well, basing it off precedent, it seems he may be. The MO of the establishment, the deep state, how they seem to handle dissidents, is a 3-step plan. And this is a plan that's been referenced by Andrew Tate and really brought into popularity. The same trials he's going through as a dissident that Trump is. First, they try to silence you. That can be either they bribe you, they threaten you, they kick you off social media platforms, they get you fired, anything like that. Second, they try to arrest you. They throw you in jail for fake charges, or they extend the legality of certain infractions you made. It's like that old saying, show me the man, I'll show you the crime. You can arrest pretty much anybody for anything if you really extend the law to the logical extreme. And that's certainly what they're trying to do with Trump. And after that doesn't work, they kill you. There's no recourse left. You've gone through every trial, you've put up with every attack, and there's nothing left they can do to silence you, except for the total removal of you from this life. First, they tried to keep him from getting elected in the first place. They called him a racist, a bigot, every name in the book, and it didn't work. Then they kick him off every social media platform, and he still says, I'm going to come back. Well, what do? You can't silence him. Second, they tried to impeach him twice, which didn't work. Then they remove him from office. Joe Biden wins, maybe or maybe not, thanks to cheating. Then when none of that works, they can't silence him. They move on to step 2, which is get him imprisoned. And they've tried. They've indicted him 4 times, and we've yet to see the outcome of those, but they're very flimsy charges. Either charges that are benign, done by other presidents or government officials that they're not going after, including Joe Biden and Barack Obama, or 3, they're extreme extensions of the law, grave misinterpretations, like how they're trying to use the 14th Amendment to remove him from ballots in certain states and maybe the general election as a whole. And every time one of these incidents happen, he gets more popular. His base gets reassured that this is the man who's going to fight against the deep state. He's an outsider, and just look at how much they hate him and detest him because he's made it his life's mission to fight them with everything he's got. He wants to run again, regardless of what happens to him. And that's a threat that they can't deal with. Look at how much trouble he caused in 2016, waking people up to the misinformation from the media and the abuse from the government. How all the upper echelons of these institutions have been taken control of and are intermingling in this unholy union of corruption and power. And so what do? When the man who you tried to silence, who you tried to get arrested, is still unfazed and still coming at you full force? Well, the only recourse left is what Tucker says, assassination. And assassination is not something that the government is opposed to. The US government has toppled something like 83 regimes in the last 100 years. We're very fond of executing political opponents and dissidents to the United States. So why would we not do it to our own? Someone who's a threat to the deep state. Why would they not try? Well, they might. as of right now, I don't think they're willing to go that far, because nothing would spark an uncontainable backlash quite like that. And people already have their eye on it. They're already suspicious of the government. There's no trust in our institutions. If Trump dies in a car accident, whether it was them or not, millions of Americans, tens of millions of Americans, maybe even hundreds of millions of Americans will believe that it was an intentional attack on Donald Trump, an intentional plot to remove him, to fulfill the third step of the process. They silence you, they imprison you, then they execute you. Those are the three recourses they have to remove you as a political dissident. So let me know what you think. Do you think this could possibly happen in America? That we not only try to imprison a political opponent, but we try to execute them as well. But this might be a good sign. It might be a sign that the deep state is so afraid of Trump and what he may do that they're left with no recourse. He is the threat. He's not a threat. He is the threat to them. The sole threat that is leading this charge, anti-establishment, pro-populism, everything that would tear apart their empire. So if you were in their position, what would you do? And do you think Donald Trump is in danger? Should he be worried? Should we be worried about the integrity of our government to this degree? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.